today's world. We all recall that for the month of February, we've been discussing insurance as part of the Finance Gem initiative. And as we always do, at the end of every topic, we bring in an expert in whatever field we had discussed so that we could have the practical sessions where we could get most of our questions answered by our guest speaker. Let's go through the program outline. So from 6 to 6:05, we allow for arrivals. Then we do the introduction, 5 minutes maximum. Then we kick off the discussions at 6:10, 30-minute discussion, 6:10 to 6:40. We allow 5 minutes for questions and answers, then closing remarks. So at exactly 6:50 p.m., we should be done with the call. So we'll start with the introduction of today's speaker. Our speaker, Isaac Kwakwasapong, is a chartered insurance practitioner. He has over 12 years of experience in general insurance. Isaac is a fellow of the Chartered Insurance Institute of both UK and Ghana. In 2019, he won the Chartered Insurance Institute of Ghana's Young Professional Award. In 2018 and 2019, he got a CII accreditation advanced technical training in general insurance. He loves teaching insurance and also serves as a part-time lecturer at the Ghana Insurance College. Isaac, once again, welcome to Finance Gem practical session.
Thank you very much, Jemima, and good evening to everyone on the call. That's a great job you're doing, Finance Gem, having monthly sessions on things related to finance, and insurance is not an exception. So once again, good evening to everyone on the call. And I'm hoping that in the next couple of minutes, we would have a lot to share. Jemima, I think you would share, go through the slides with me. Or would you want me to share my screen?
Yes, you can take over the screen now.
Okay, all right. Just a minute.
Okay, Isaac.
Okay, I believe you can all see my screen.
It's loading at my end. Yes, I can see now.
Okay, it's loaded now.
I can see your screen now.
Okay, all right. I think we're going past this. So essentially, we're going to introduce the concept of insurance. We'll talk about the June 3 floods and others. Then we'll see the need for insurance, look at some of the types of insurance policies and how to get started. Okay, now, quite often when insurance comes into the picture, a lot of people ask, do I really need to insure? And I've had people even ask, between insurance and investments, which one do I go for? Now, let me start off by taking us back to 2015. 3rd of June 2015, what happened? There was an explosion. Fire and flood occurred at a petrol station, and everyone knows the story. Now, over 250 people were killed. Properties were damaged. People lost their lives. People lost their investments. Now, when these things occur, everyone begins to talk about, oh, government should do this, government should do that. But the point is, really, what can government really do? The laws will not care. We'll talk about it in the media. We'll empathize with you, but life goes on. Now, the picture you see on your screen is the aftermath of the June 3 twin disaster. So if you had a vehicle there, it means you've lost your vehicle. Whoever was running that particular filling station, petrol station, fuel station, has lost that particular investment. And his only means of bouncing back, his only way that he can bounce back is if he had an insurance policy in place. Well, if you have enough money such that this kind of loss cannot shake you, fair enough, that is good. But a lot of people will need something to fall on. They will need someone to give them the push. If you bought your latest car, your first car, and it was at that particular fuel station and it got bent, think about it. Now, the point is that no one knows when a loss would occur. No one knew that June 3 was going to happen. If you knew, you wouldn't probably even be there. And so one of the things we need to know is that these kind of losses, they don't send us a notice. They don't remind us that, hey guys, we are coming, so prepare. They come like a thief in the night. There's no notice. It comes as and when they feel like they have to show up. And it brings a lot of losses. June 3 is even too far away. Just this year, 2022. Maybe the only difference between June 3 and this is that this happened in Brazil. Okay, there was flooding, and it's just a day after Valentine's Day, 15 February. Intense rainfall in the city of Petropolis. It caused mudslides, flooding. It destroyed parts of the city. 231 people died in this disaster. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is just like the June 3 floods. This was just like the June 3 floods. On the picture you see on your screen, you see that the roads were flooded. Now, if you had a vehicle and it was flooded like that, the question you ask yourself is, how do I get my next vehicle? It's not going to be the first time. It won't be the last time. These losses will repeat. They will come back again. Certainly, we know the moment it begins to rain and the drains are not choked, flooding begins to raise ugly heads. So losses do occur. We never know when that workman, that carpenter working for you will fall off the ladder. You don't know. You leave home and you leave your iron on. And if you're lucky, you come and then probably it's still, everything is intact. There's been cases where people left their irons on and they were told whilst they were in church that your house is on fire. They lost everything. You buy your car, you are the most patient driver on the road. Yet someone drives into your car, and that person who drives into your car is a man of straw. He can't fix your car for you. That is the loss you are facing. It's going to cost you about 100,000 cedis. Ask yourself, where am I going to get that particular amount of money from to fix my loss? So the thing is that anytime you talk about insurance, and I'm an insurance practitioner, I work for an insurance company, but I think that you don't do the insurance company a favor by insuring, because what really is insurance? Insurance is a means of transferring your risks to another person. You transfer your risks to the insurance company such that when that particular risk crystallizes, when it becomes a loss, they would come in and pay for the loss. If you decide not to transfer your risks, if you decide to say that I am too smart, I want to hold on to this particular risk, and the loss occurs, you are on your own. And that is where you see that people become a burden onto society, a burden onto family, and all of that. Now I'm going to probably cite some pretty much practical examples for us to see all these things. But these are examples. These things are not too far away. And with a link in the presentation, you realize that if you go on Wikipedia, you can see all the major natural disasters that have occurred. Major natural disasters. People lost their lives. Property was lost. And so think about it. You bought your first home. How much? Maybe worth $100,000. Or probably you built it at a very good price, 200,000 cedis, and then you are told that your house is on fire. How would you feel? What are you going to do? Insurance exists because the risks exist. And it's not just about property, it's also about lives of people. And when these risks exist and they result in a loss, they can wipe out your bank account. Imagine the guy who had the filling station near Atomic. I mean, those of you who are very familiar with Accra, the gas station, where there was an explosion. How did it affect his business? There's a need for insurance. And one of the things I say when it comes to insurance is that it gives you peace of mind. It gives you utmost peace of mind. The story is said of one insurance practitioner. In fact, he said he was on the motorway and then they called him that, "Sir, the roof of your house is going off." Then he said, "Okay, just get my family to safety and we'll attend to the damaged roof when everything comes down." Why was he speaking like that? He was speaking like that because he had an insurance policy in place, which he knows would pay for damage to his roof. It was about to rain, the windstorm was serious, and he got that call that, "Hey, it looks like your roof is going off." He says, "Get the family to safety." The question I'm going to ask you is, can you say the same thing as this insurance practitioner? If you hear that it's raining and your roof is going off, can you say that, "Hey, relax, everything is under control"? You may say that everything is under control, but my brother, my sister, you probably would not be feeling comfortable because you've not insured that house of yours. Insurance gives you peace of mind. We say that anytime a family member dies, there arises costs, expenses to be paid for, okay? And so when the Busuapeni says, "I bring an amount of money," and you don't have it, you begin to think. A lot of the crying that we do when someone dies, a lot of them, aside the emotional loss, is because we don't have money. We don't have the money to what? To pay for the funeral expenses. We don't have the money to take care of the family that the person has left behind. Insurance gives you that peace of mind. Yes, I would cry, but after crying for some minutes, an hour, I'll remember that I've got something that will cushion me for life. I'm not going to make an advert for one of my competitors, but that would cushion me for life. Is there anything that is covering you? Is there anything that is giving you peace of mind? That is insurance. We'll talk about the experiences people have, and so for that reason, they do not want to insure. But insurance gives you peace of mind. It pays for your losses. I quite remember growing up, when you're watching most of the local movies, you see that someone would say, a businessman would probably be informed that his consignments on the high seas have sunk, and then he probably would hold his hat and then fall off. Means he's going to die or he's dead. Why? Who's going to pay for his losses? He's on his own. Aboka. He doesn't have peace of mind. No one is paying for his losses. So if you were going to make a profit of 1 million and these losses have arisen, you'd have to pay for all these losses from your profits. And if the losses are more than 1 million, it means you're making no profits. Businesses have set up. People have put money into retail shops, into restaurants, yet they have not insured. I'm going to do my portion and I'll have peace of mind. But think about it today. And a lot of time people will say, "Oh, nothing would happen. Oh, nothing would happen. Oh, for all these years, nothing has happened." Like I said, these kind of losses, they come like a thief in the night. They do not tell you when they are coming, but yet they will come. So you just got to prepare. No one tells you that today when you're moving out, someone is going to smash your back. Yes, we'll pray, we'll do everything. But then the point is that insurance is the one thing that can give you peace of mind. If the losses would destabilize your cash flow, you need to insure them. Otherwise, you have to pay for the losses on your own. Banks are being hit by people who are into cyber fraud. They are stealing monies. Now, these banks, if they did not have any insurance policy in place, they will have to pay for some of these losses on their own. There are accidents on the road every single day. Without insurance, you'd have to pay for the losses on your own. And then I say it helps you to remain as a going concern. Imagine that you had no insurance in place. You are involved in an accident. You cannot work. You've been laid off work. You have medical expenses to pay. Will you remain a going concern? You have the peace of mind. You won't have anyone pay for your losses. You won't remain a going concern. You become a social burden. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the reason why we need to insure. And like I say, you do not insure to make what? Me proud or to make the insurance company rich, because the losses do come. And if you know these insurance companies and you speak to any one of them, you realize that they are paying losses. Sometimes people have to be reinstated 100% all over again. Now let's look at the types of insurance policies. I've mentioned why we need insurance. And let's look at the types of insurance policies. Broadly speaking, you could have the life insurance policies and you could have what? The non-life insurance policies. The distinction is this: the life insurance policies, they are concerned themselves with the life of an individual, where majorly that particular policy would pay for any compensation depending on the death or the continuous existence of someone. So if someone dies, the policy is probably triggered. There are other ways in which a policy can trigger, but essentially life policies are concerning the life of a person. So speaking, anyone can take up a life policy and say that, okay, for example, let's take a funeral cover. You could say that if A or B dies, I want you to pay me X amount of money to pay for the funeral expenses. In talking about peace of mind, I said that, for example, your parent dies, yes, you shed tears, but sometimes when he's quite aged, it's like, okay, God has given, God has taken, thank you, God. But then you come back to the reality. Hey, who's going to pay for the losses? Who's going to bring the money to do this funeral? There can be a funeral insurance cover in place. And of late, I see a lot of the life insurance companies bringing packages for associations or groups, such that it's not at the time of someone's what do you call it, funeral, that would have to call on members of a particular association to contribute 50 cedis, 100 cedis, or whatever amount of money to be able to go and use as a donation. There is a policy in place that will respond. Some of these policies can pay 20,000, 50,000, depending on what suits you. But remember, insurance is not for free. Because you are buying peace of mind, you would have to pay something. It's not for free. A bit of endowment policies. These are like policies that are linked to a term. So you could do the policy for like 10 years. And if anything happens before the 10 years, they'll pay you something. If you also live up to the 10 years, something is paid to you. A combination of investments, insurance, all put together. Those are some endowment policies. We have some on the markets. The other one is term life. So for example, you could say that, okay, I want to insure my life. If anything happens before this time, pay X amount of money to this person. So these are policies. Now, how do you get to know the right life insurance policy to pick? The point is this: you only have to narrate your story, what you are looking for, what you want the insurance policy to do for you. You only have to tell that story to the insurance officer. And then the insurance officer will look at your problem and tell you which of the policies will best suit you. You may have an idea of what you really want to buy, but let's take it like you're going to see your doctor for advice. You're going to see your lawyer for advice. Just say your story. Say, lawyer, you know what? I have beaten my brother and he has gone to the police station to report. but I'm coming to see you. What can we do? The lawyer would then advise you, let's go to the police station, or let's do this, or let's do that. A lot of times, people want to kind of tell the insurance officers what they want. No, whatever you know, use that one to fine-tune your discussion with the insurance company. But like I'm saying, one group of insurance policies is the life insurance policies. And you could have the funeral, the endowment, the term life, and quite a number of them. We're not going to go into the details now, but just to let you know that they are available. The second, have the non-life, where you insure your motor vehicle. Okay, so these are about properties, your vehicle, your building, projects. You're building your house. You don't know that that particular house can collapse. We are living by faith. Yes, it's good to live by faith, but please take precautions. What if the accident does occur? What if it occurs? What will happen? So there are motor policies, and these policies are specifically for motor vehicles. And then we have a fire policy. These ones are covering damage to a building or an item in a building, a factory, a warehouse, those kind of things. So those who have set up restaurants and have not insured it, you need a fire policy, okay? We could also have other accident policies, engineering policies, marine. A lot of us are importing into the country, and sometimes we don't even insure. What will happen when those items sink on the high seas? What will happen? So these are some of the marine insurance policies that are available on the market. Okay, you could go on and on and on. That they have several names depending on what. And again, the rule is that you only have to tell your insurance officer or your broker or your agent that this is my problem. How can you help me? This is what I want to do. What will be your best advice to me? If I go to see the pharmacist, I tell him why I'm there and expect him to advise me. If I know anything about drugs, I will try and check with what he said to be sure we're on the same page. If I think that he's gotten it wrong because he's maybe tired or something, I will try my best to share what I have with him to be sure that he's still right. So again, it's a little bit problematic. I remember somewhere last week, an agent contacted me and wanted a policy. And he was like, give me this particular policy. But when I looked at it, I was like, my brother, this policy is not the best for you. Based on what I have seen or the information you shared with me, this is not the best for you. He said, oh no, this is what they said they want. And I said, well, this is where the problem starts from. If you get it wrong right at the stage of purchasing the policy, you're going to get it wrong when there's a claim. Because for example, if you go and insure your house under a motor policy, you've gotten it wrong. Terms and conditions apply. Okay, and this is where a lot of people will say that, oh, I insured and they did not pay. Hold on. Insurance pays. And if your insurance company says they would not pay, you could take them to the National Insurance Commission. And then you can face the facts. But one of the things I like to tell people is that if an insurance company says they will not pay, check the policy. What is in the policy? The policy you bought, what's in it? We all work in different areas where we work with documents, okay? Certainly, if someone comes and says that, oh, no, I don't agree with what you've given me, you would refer them towards whatever piece of document you gave to them. And so if you are buying an insurance policy, make sure that you know the terms and conditions in there. Someone goes to buy a motor third-party policy and says that my vehicle is damaged, come and fix it for me. I'm sorry, but that motor third-party policy does not pay for that kind of loss. I'm just giving you an example because our time is quite short for me to go into the details of every policy. But the point here is that it is possible for people to get it wrong when they are purchasing the policy because sometimes we appear to know more than the insurance officer. Use the knowledge you know. It's just like you see sometimes, yes, it's true. Sometimes you may have the doctor who is getting it wrong and you are telling the doctor, no, doctor. But sometimes it depends on how you say it. The point is that allow the professionals to work. Because if you come and then you say, give me this, give me that, and you get it wrong, you get it wrong at the time of a claim. You will get it wrong at the time of a claim. Started. You can speak to your insurer. There are a lot of insurance companies on the markets. You can speak to any one of them. You can speak to your broker. There's several brokers on the markets. Brokers are intermediaries, so they don't take the risks. They only make sure that the insurer is giving their clients a good deal. So they intermediate the process, okay, of buying the insurance policy. And when there's a claim, they bring the expertise to bear. So those are the brokers. There are quite a number of brokers. You can go through a broker or you can deal directly with an insurance company. I work with an insurance company. My insurance company is Suno Assurance, but I also do insurance education with Bima Advisors. So you speak to your insurer, be it Star Assurance, be it Suno Assurance, be it SIC, Glyco, Enterprise, Hollad, they would present you options. Or you go through your broker, be it KEK, be it Safety Brokers, be it Safeguard Brokers, be it Titan Brokers. There are a lot of brokers on the market. You go through them, and then they will tell you, okay, you know what, this particular risk, go to this insurer. The difference is that when you approach an insurer, you're approaching just like, I'm going to buy a car, I'm going to Toyota. But when you go to a broker will have access to Toyota, to CFAO, to Japan Motors, all the auto dealers. And then you can deal with an agent. An agent is a representative of the insurance company. And so the agents can also be used to what? To get your insurance products. Now, again, let's get these things facts. This is how insurance works. Insurance is a means by which people transfer their risks to the insurance company. Like I said, it's not for free. You have to pay something. That which you pay is called the premium. Now, when you pay that particular premium, the insurance company now says that anytime you suffer the loss which you are so much afraid of, for which reason you came to us to transfer that risk to, we have the financial resources to pay for that particular loss. Now, how do we do it? Because it may look like it's a scam. No, it's not a scam. We deal with the law of large numbers. We deal with the pooling mechanisms where a lot of people like you have all come to us with that particular problem. And we have taken money from all of them. But it is our expectation that only a few from the baskets will suffer a loss. So we may have like 10,000 people coming to us with the same problem that we want to insure our vehicle, we want to insure our buildings. They will all pay maybe 100 cedis, 200 cedis. We'll put all of them together. And then out of that 10,000, maybe 10, 20, 50 would suffer losses. Then we use that money to pay for the losses from those people, from the 50, 20, 10 people. We use the money that we collected from the 10,000 people to pay for the losses. So now, every year, we are supposed to check that the money we've taken from you is enough. If the money is not enough, we'll then come back to you and say that last year you paid 1,000 for your risks. This year you have to pay 1,200. But hardly the insurance companies in Ghana do that to you. They only penalize you when you make so many claims. Okay, so when that is done, you don't come back tomorrow to say that, okay, there's been no loss, so give me back my money or give me part of the money. My brother, my sister, I carried your burden for you. And you paid me for it. I do not have to refund anything to you. I'm saying it this way because there are a number of times, anytime I talk about this, people say, oh, my insurance company should be able to give anything back. They don't owe you a pesewa or a dime. No. Because they have carried your burden for you for one whole year. You had peace of mind. When you heard that, hey, the consignment has sunk, you were like, oh, don't worry, it's insured. When you heard that that vehicle is involved in an accident by your driver, you said, oh, don't worry, that car, I wanted to sell it, so it's a good thing. Even if it's insured, even if it's done, the insurance company give me money to buy another one. After I was even struggling to sell it off. Insurance gives you peace for mind. It pays for your losses. How then do you say that I suffered no loss to come back and pay something to me? It doesn't work that way. And like I've said, if you want to get started, the life policies are there. They are concerned with ensuring the life of a person. Imagine someone being involved in an accident and that person is bedridden. And for years down the line, you'd have to what? Incur medical expenses. But because the person is bedridden, the person cannot also what? Work. He's been laid off. They probably would have paid him something. But 2 years down the line, that money is finished. If there isn't any proper insurance policy in place, how would that person bounce back to life? Who is going to cater for those expenses? That is the reason why you need insurance. I came to you today to talk about insurance. It's a necessity for both individuals and corporate institutions. In today's world, it is a necessity. Otherwise, you will become a social burden. In the initial stages, your friends will commiserate with you, they will empathize, they will accommodate you for a week. But after a month, they will tell you that a relative is coming and you need to move out. At this stage, I would, maybe there was an area I didn't touch on, I would gladly look at that. So the floor is open for questions. Or Jemima.
Thanks, Isaac. Yeah, you really carried us right from the beginning till the end. I have quite a number of insurance, but listening to your speech today, I guess I need quite, I need to add another insurance policy to what I have. Before we go to the question, I can see that Jeff's hand is up. Jeff, if you could hear us, you can ask your question now.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
Perfectly,
Yes,
we can hear you.
Jeff.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for the presentation. And thanks, Jemima, for putting up this fantastic program. So I have a couple of questions. I will just be asking them here and there. But I heard one interesting statement. I mean, yeah, you said that insurance companies do not owe you anything because they carried your burden for you. And so at the end of the day, it's not justifiable to be asking them to give you a little something because you haven't made any claims. I want to ask, so the bankers, they also carry the burden of keeping your monies in the bank so that nobody come and rob your home and take it, and yet the bankers will still pay you interest. I don't know. Is it not fair? Because
no,
so
it's not
that's
the same thing. So maybe let me clarify it. It's good you're asking that. So you see, quite often a lot of people will say that I've insured with you for 10 years, nothing has happened. You have to give me some of the money.
Hello.
Yes, Jeff, can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can hear you. So you are saying that, yeah. Oh, I understand. Myself, I wish I could even make some claims car myself, or I even wish that maybe at a point they can even half my premium car because my teacher insurance and but I understand a bit of the whole thing. So I had this funny issue that happened. I had as my sister, she's been insuring her car she's been insuring the same company I think for some, let's say 15, 20 years now. Now she traveled out of the country and then for some reason she stayed unusually long, during which time her insurance had expired. And she came back from her trip 2 days, her car was stolen and the car was smashed beyond repairs. Now the insurance company is saying there's nothing they can do for her? You know, is it really the case that it's really nothing? I mean, she delayed in paying the insurance. I think she was like 4 months late because due to reasons not beyond her control, she couldn't return on the trip earlier than she anticipated. And this person has been paying insurance for close to 20 years with the same company. And now that her vehicle got stolen and got smashed beyond repairs, they told her that there's nothing they can do for her. Is it really the case?
Jeff, I'll tell you the truth. If they said there's nothing they can do for her, indeed, it's true. There's nothing they can do for her. She didn't have a policy in place. She doesn't get anything. You see, let's take emotions aside. The insurance companies are also in business. If you didn't have a policy in place and you're expecting that, look, I know someone who had a Toyota Prado. He insured it for 1 year. He failed to renew it on that day. The following day, there was an accident, totally destroyed. You didn't have a policy in place. Your insurance company is not going to do anything to help. I mean, on the face of it, unless maybe there was other discussion or there are other things, considerations, but they are not treating you unfairly if they say you didn't have a policy in place. So we understand your laws, but we can't do anything about it. And the point is that if you don't have money in your accounts, your bankers will not allow you to cash out. And the best they can say is that we understand the situation. You've worked with us for several years, but there's no money in the accounts. We cannot let you cash out. I hope you get it. It's difficult to say, but I really have to tell people the truth. They can't do anything to help.
I also agree. I totally understand. Sorry.
But it's just a difficult thing. It's just quite awkward that you've done this for all these years. People even insure their vehicles comprehensive for 10 years, then they change to third party, then they have an accident, then they'll come. Can you do anything for me? You get the point. It's awkward. I can't do anything to help you.
Thanks.
I think what
Jeff, I guess you are okay. We have 2 other people with their hands raised. Yeah, if we could take Olatunji, Yusuf, then Jake will come, then Eben will also come. Over to you.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, just want to add a little bit explanation to what Isaac had just said, and based on the question asked by Jeff. I am looking at it in this direction that, let's say, a bank, if you send your money to the bank, whether you send, let's say you send like 1,000 Ghana cedis to the bank, at any point in time, if you want to collect your money back from the bank, you collect back your 1,000 Ghana cedis at any. In fact, you might even collect lesser because they will tell you that you cannot remove all the money at a go. But the insurance company, you have come to pay, let's say your car is 100,000 and you do comprehensive, let's say you pay some 2,000, 3,000 for a loss, for a probable loss of 100,000. If the loss occurs, definitely the insurance company will pay you 100,000 for 1,000 Ghana cedis. So if we look at it from that angle, you will see that insurance company, actually, they don't owe you anything if you have paid your insurance for 100 years and now you don't have insurance and you have that loss. So I just want to add explanation to what Isaac has said. Thank you.
Thanks, Ola. Very clear.
Thank you, Ola.
Jake,
Thank you so much.
You can also ask your question, Jake.
Hi. Yeah. Thank you for giving the opportunity. So just to clarify with what our brothers just said. So if you put your money in a bank, right, the bank also has its own stipulation that, okay, with you opening an account and putting this money in, we are going to pay you this amount in interest rates. So from the very beginning, you know that, okay, if I put $1,000, 1,000 Ghana cedi in, this is the interest rate I'm going to earn on my money. So that is the agreement between you and the bank. But then when you buy an insurance policy, the insurance policy is saying that when this and this are damaged, this is what the insurance company is going to cover. So if that expires and you don't renew insurance and something happens and you think because you've contributed to the insurance company, so you want the insurance company to give some money back. It doesn't work like that. And I think this is where we as Ghanaians should have like a renewal of mind when it comes to this type of things. You know, like the brother said, they are also making a business. And if everything goes according to the stipulation of your contract, and if it's still valid, then yes, if it happens, they have to cover you. But if it expires, unfortunately, there is nothing that they can do. But my question to you, Isaac, is, so when someone's insurance policy is going to expire, do you guys send some form of communication to let the customer know that, hey, by this time or by this date, your insurance is going to expire, so please try to renew? Do you guys do that at all? If not, I think that is something that you should start practicing so that people are not caught off guard, because we know in life a lot of things happen. People are very busy and may not pay attention to some of these things, but sending like text messages or email addresses to email messages to let them know that, hey, your policy is about to expire, so please try to renew by this date. I think that would also be helpful. But is that something that you guys practice now?
Hello, Jake.
Or...
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Isaac, we
Hello,
can
Jake.
hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Well, Isaac, I'll just hear you asking if I can hear you, but I don't hear anything you say after that.
Yes. Isaac, are you trying to make a point here? Okay, so Jake, whilst Isaac is trying to sort his audio out, let's take Eben's question. Eben Hammer.
Thank you very much. I think Isaac has done justice to the topic. I would want to ask a few questions. I will give 3 questions if I'm permitted to. So the first one is, you know, we pay premiums for the policy that we are taking on. Is there a way for us as lay people to assess how much premium we ought to pay so that we are not ripped off? Is there any benchmark or any rule of thumb to determine how much premium I have to pay if I'm insuring my house, if I'm insuring my car, given the value that is there? Is there any rule of thumb for that? Then second question has to do with travel insurance. Currently, I'm in Dubai. When you travel, you need to get protected because anything can happen. You take an insurance policy for travel and you begin to get different quotes for protection that you are looking for. What do I have to look out for anytime I'm taking out travel insurance in that regard? And then recently I heard that the National Insurance Commission gave some deadline for some insurance companies to meet some minimum capital requirements. In the event that an insurance company have insured my risk with is not able to meet that requirement and that insurance company is closed down, what happens to me, the insured? Thank you very much.
Hi, Isaac. Okay, so I've noted the question down. Let's take Nelson, then we'll take the response from Isaac. Nelson, if you can hear us, you can unmute and ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, Isaac said that the insurance is supposed to carry our burden and give us peace of mind during the cover period. But what if a person has little or no knowledge about insurance, and this person gets it wrong about an insurance policy from the initial stage from an insurance professional, and then he has to suffer a loss and wants to make a claim, but the insurance company refuses to make any payment? Is the person supposed to take the insurance company to the NIC or the insurance officer to the NIC?
Thanks, Nelson. Your question is clear. Isaac, can you hear us? Isaac, can you hear us now? Okay, so I've done a summary of your questions. Jake, yours was on the whether we are getting reminders on expiry. Personally, from experience, I see that most of these vary from company to company, because I have my motor insurance. When I was with another company, I was getting reminders. But with the new one that I have, I always have to be on my toes. So Jake, some companies do reminders, but we are not there yet. We need to improve that. Eben, your question was on how we could estimate our premiums, even as lay people who don't have insurance background. Then your other question was on travel insurance. You get different codes covering different aspects. What should we look out for when we are choosing? Then you mentioned something about the minimum capital requirement for insurance company that had been issued. Is there a risk for us? Is there a caution for us? Then the last question was from the last question was on the fact that sometimes you get misinformed by insurance agents or workers. You get a policy, and when you want to claim, it becomes an issue. How do you get that? We'll take one last question, then we'll go to the earlier questions we have gotten prior to this. Priscilla, if you are ready, you can ask your question. Hi, Priscilla.
Hello, Jemima. So
Hi,
mine is not really a question. It was a contribution whilst waiting on Isaac to resolve his issue. It's in relation to the question Jacob asked. So yes, Jacob, the insurance companies are doing well these days. So for the company that I have my insurance with, they send notifications before my insurance expires. And the period they give is a sufficient notice for you to do the renewal. So they do send reminders at least about 2 or 3 months before it expires. And then even in the week of expiry, they send it like almost every day. So like Jemima said, it depends on the insurance companies that you insure with. Some do, others don't. Yes, so but we are gradually getting there. Thank you.
Thanks, Priscilla. Isaac, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know, but technology, network, forgive me.
Oh, okay.
I think
Would you like questions that was asked?
yes.
Okay, so the first one was on the reminders. Priscilla had made a comment. Would you like to also make a comment?
Yeah, I think Jake wanted to find out, do we send renewal notices?
Yes.
Who doesn't like money? We like money, so we send renewal notices. We like money more than you, so yes, we do send renewal notices so that you come and renew. But I can't speak for every company.
So not all the companies do that.
Yes, I can't speak for every company, yes, but we do our best to make sure that you come back and then give us more money.
Okay. Yeah. The second question was from Eben. Is there a way we could estimate our premiums, even as lay people who don't have insurance background, just to be sure that we are paying the right premium?
Oh yes, there's a way. We have minimum recommended rates. Those are minimum. It means you can go up. For motor, we have a tariff-based system. We have a guide. So once you speak to your insurer, broker, or agent, they could guide you. And you see, for those who even go into projects, even before you cost the project, we should be able to know what's going to be the portion for insurance. So yes, there's a way you can do that. Once you get in touch, we could walk you through the path, and you will know how to come about your premiums. Yeah.
Oh, great to know. Then the other one was on travel insurance. You get different codes, different things that they cover. What should you watch out for as a traveler before you pick a travel insurance?
First and foremost, what do you want the travel insurance to do for you? So you may get different quotes, but they're not the same coverage. Okay, so one is probably giving you a higher limit of maybe $50,000. The other one is giving you $10,000. So you need to probably ask yourself, okay, fine. And quite often it's very easy for those who are going to Schengen states, because anytime you're traveling to a Schengen state, they require you to present a Schengen travel insurance cover, where the sum assured is 30,000 euros. So it's pretty much straightforward. Now, the difference in premiums would be as a result of the fact that someone may be giving you an add-on. Maybe we'll pay for the cost of medical bills or the cost of isolation if you if you test positive for COVID. You get the point. So those may be add-ons. You've got to really know what is really going into it. And mind you, again, not just even for travel insurance, for all policies, don't just say that this person is giving me 1,000, that person is giving me 800, so I'm going for the one who's giving me 800. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a superior cover. Okay, so for travel, yes, people have different coverages, but you've got to pick all the quotations and compare. The comparison is, if it's a little bit difficult for you to compare, if you know anybody who's in the insurance company, they could help explain it to you, or the broker can do that, or the agents can do that. But you've got to compare and know the differences. Yes, they're not the same.
Thanks for the clarity. His last question was on the fact that there had been an issue on the minimum capital requirements for certain insurance companies to be met. Is there a reason for us as customers to be alarmed? Or
I think that a lot of companies have gone through this. They've been able to recapitalize, but the announcements, I reserve it for the Commissioner of Insurance. I'm not a Commissioner of Insurance, so I can't tell who has not met, but I think that generally there's calm in the industry. Everybody's doing business. So it's my understanding that almost everyone has met. So in respect of that, I think if there was any reason to worry, the media houses will carry it by now. Yeah.
okay.
But you could check with your insurer because they've all been given their license to operate. So you could ask your insurer, can you give me a copy of your license? Can you show me a copy of your license? If they are not able to do that, then you could say that there's a problem. But that one, me, I won't know. I can show you what my company's license is. Yeah.
That's it. Eben, your hand is up. Do you want to clarify something?
Oh, no, thank you very much. I wanted to ask another question, just to, yeah. So I see a particular product. Some people call it lifetime policy or something else, and it requires you to make contribution every month towards, and it's just like a savings. Is it an insurance policy or is just an investment that we are making for ourselves? Because the nature of the policy, or I will call it the product, is such that you are making money, you are setting money set aside every month, and then you can see how much you have accumulated up to a certain period. And then they come with some embedded funeral policy, some assured kind of thing. Is this an insurance policy or investment? It looks quite funny to me. Maybe with you, you can tell us. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll say that insurance companies have become very innovative, very creative over the past years. Yes, we have insurance policies like that. There's a hybrid investment and risk aspects. So you have aspects like that. And yes, sometimes you're going to pay every year, every month, not just once a year. You're going to pay every month. And so the time that you choose, okay, so they have a specific time. After that time, if you are still alive, you get paid your sum assured and whatever has been promised you. So that is an example of an insurance policy, but we have now we are trying to be a little bit creative because life companies now have a hybrid insurance investment kind of thing. But when they say investment, I beg you, don't go and think about very high interest rates, because insurance companies don't do those kind of high, risky investment that will guarantee you high interest rate. They're a little bit conservative when it comes to that. Even the commission will allow us to do certain kind of investment. So yes, we have a blend of that, and that's when I talk about the what do you call it, the endowment policies. You have some companies coming up with very interesting endowment policies over there, and they have funeral cover, everything built in there, so it's quite sophisticated. So maybe when you have such a policy, we can send a copy to me. We would go through and make things simple for you. In the same way that when you take a medical report and you don't understand tubular fibia and all those kind of things, you see, then they say, what do you call it? I read reports and they use terms I don't understand. I give it to a medical doctor and I say, break it down for me. So when you see those policies, we can have a conversation. Don't worry, it doesn't come at a fee.
Thank you.
Welcome, Ben.
Ola, would you like to give your final question, or we are a little behind? I also have another question. His in song.
Yeah, my own is just a contribution again. Somebody asked a question the other time that how do you understand the policy you take? Because there are some cases whereby you have an insurance, then when it comes to claim, then they will tell you that we cannot pay for this, we cannot pay for that. I want us to know that insurance is a contract. So at any point in time, when you take a policy from an insurance company, just take your time, because they will also always give you your policy document. Let us all take our time to read the content of the policy. Then when you read the content of the policy, you will be able to come up that, okay, when this thing happens, this is what I will get. So if you are not too clear or you are not too happy with the kind of policy, then you can talk to the insurance company that, okay, what about if I want 1, 2, 3 to be included in my policy? What would be my cost? So if we don't do that, at the end of the day, when loss occur, definitely insurance will, they are, as Isaac said earlier, well, they are also into business. So they will always want to cover their back. So at any point in time when we take policy, please let us read the content of the policy. Don't let us just speak the policy and dump it. Thank you.
Thanks for the clarity. In song, your hand is up. Would you like to ask your question? Yeah, you can go ahead if you can hear us.
Please. Good evening.
Okay. Good evening. Yeah. We can hear you.
Okay, that's fine. My name is Ernest Song. Just a question. So on the life insurance part, I know that normally when you sign up for the life insurance, they have a minimum amount before they say that, okay, whatever happens, they can bear the risk on it. So, but at the flip side, just say you default 1 or 2 months. Does that also abrogate the contract, or is there a tolerance as to how long you can default on your premium? Yes, yeah, that's my question.
Okay, Hinson, thank you. First and foremost, terms and conditions apply. For some policies, if you default like that, yes, you're not going to get anything. It's hard, but they can't really help you. Others, they also have it.
You mentioned terms and conditions, and these terms and conditions are like 2 or 3 pages.
No. So again, so if you, like you're saying, if you get the terms and conditions and it looks too bulky for you, I mean, you can give me a call. I'll just help you simplify it. Okay. Like Olatunji said, it's good to know the terms and conditions. Okay, it's everywhere. I mean, if you buy something and then the terms and conditions are in there and something else happens, they'll refer you back to the same document. So it's most likely that you won't get anything. Okay, but you see, again, we're in a very competitive world, so people may have little variations to pardon you, maybe make you pay the premium. All those things are there, but again, generally, for most policies, will say you've defaulted, you don't get paid. We'll stop. You didn't pay the premium, so you didn't transfer the risk. That's what it means. If you pay the premium, then you transfer the risk, then it will support you.
Thank you, Isaac. I think for now you can put your question in the chat, but I have this question. Okay. My audience has the challenge with the fact that when it comes to insurance claim, there's a lot of paperwork. Is there a way, or do you now have, Ghana, you know we are going digital. Is there a digital way or an electronic way I can claim my insurance without a lot of paperwork or bureaucracy?
We are getting there, but you won't come for money. You don't want to support your request for money with documentation. Government of Ghana, even when contractors are going for money, they support their documentation. But that is not to say that we need to make the process too cumbersome for you. I know a lot of companies are going more of the digital way. Okay, so for example, my company Sonu is now moving towards the digital way, where now you can register your claims through a WhatsApp platform. You just say hello or hi, and then the prompts come, and then you can just register your claim anywhere you are without anybody intervening. Now, we are getting there. The journey seems to be quite slow, but yes, you would have to also justify why we should pay that claim to you. And mind you, everything that you need to produce to support your claim, we often tell you in the policy, the terms and conditions, the policy is already in the policy right from the word go. It's just that quite often we are not so much interested. So that is it. I mean, we are going to the digital way. A lot of companies are going online and everybody loves it, but there's also a chunk of our clients who like to go the very old way. So I know certainly one day we'll get there. I like the paperless economy, but let's see how it goes. We can't do 100% without paper, but we'll try as much as possible. We are trying, we are reducing it. So yes, I hope other companies would also follow suit.
Thanks, Isaac. We are very grateful for the opportunity you have given us. If time would have allowed, I'm sure our audience would have asked for more. But like Oliver Twist, if you could see Jeff's comments, we would like to call you once again to specifically talk about life insurance. We really appreciate today's presentation. You carried us right from the beginning till the end. Now, I even feel that the insurance policies that I have is not enough. Isaac, I need to come back to you so that we can work something out for me.
Okay.
Your final comment before.
I mean,
we'll
we could always look at it and fight you.
Get ready after the final comment. Oh, Isaac, you can go on. Isaac, your final comment. Closing remarks.
Okay, so insurance is good, but you've got to make sure you understand what you are buying because it's not for free. Terms and conditions apply, but do not take it for granted. And if you feel like it is, I just saw that someone says his question has not been answered. Can I just answer his question? Nelson, what's your question?
Yeah, his question was, it was on the fact that okay, Nelson, you can go.
Okay, thank you. So please, you said that the insurance company is supposed to carry our burden and give us peace of mind during the cover period. But what if somebody has little or no knowledge about insurance and this person got the policy wrong from the initial stage from an insurance professional, and then he suffers a loss and wants to make a claim, but the insurance company refuses to make payments? Is he supposed to take the insurance company to NIC or the insurance professional to NIC?
Isaac, have we lost you? Okay, so whilst waiting for Isaac to get his audio sorted, those of us who can we put on our cameras? We'll take a group picture. Isaac, can you answer his question now?
Okay, so Nelson, the aspect that you say the person doesn't understand, that's what I'm saying. How to get started? Have a conversation. Don't be in a rush. Understand what you are buying. Because if we get it wrong, I said it, if we get it wrong from the word go, we'll get it wrong when there's a claim. And maybe at that stage, we can't do much. So let's get it right from the word go. And that is the reason why we need to ensure that we are speaking to the right person and you understand what you're buying. We will try as much as possible to take away emotions when it gets there, but we need to also make sure that we restore lives and properties when the loss does occur. Okay, so the solution would be to get it right from the beginning. Speak to a professional. Speak to someone who knows what he's selling to you. Okay.
A professional like Isaac. Please, let's
yes,
put our
yes.
for the group
Okay.
picture.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. Can we take another one briefly? Okay, a minute, I'm almost done. Good. Thank you all for attending today's session. Very grateful. Don't forget to follow the Finance Gem on our various social media handles. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, and on WhatsApp as well. Interesting topics coming this month, and I look forward to having some of you as our speakers this year. More things planned for this year. I can see very familiar faces. Thanks for the support. It's very massive. We really appreciate it. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the. I forgot to say Happy Independence Day to my Ghanaian audience. Thank you and enjoy the day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And I guess you can stop the recording.